It's a shame that this behavior isn't anything new to the world of basketball or sports in general. Here are some of the worst examples of fans being disruptive throughout the NBA's modern era. First up, a Sixers fan flips off Russell Westbrook right in front of his face. Westbrook's reaction is amusing, but it's also terrible since you can see he has to deal with this nonsense all of the time. Next up, Russell Westbrook was racially taunted by a fan. Another Utah incident, this one even more heinous because there is video evidence of what was said. After Westbrook instructed the fan, "Don't call him," the supporter repeated the phrase to mock him. This is simply unacceptable behavior. Next up, a Celtics fan threw a vodka bottle at Lamar Odom. In Boston, another fan decided to hurl something at a player, this time a vodka bottle, at LA Lakers player Lamar Odom. To their credit, all of the athletes seek out the fan in order to be flung. Next up, a fan curses LeBron James as he exits the floor. A tasteless moment from a fan as LeBron exits the court following a game. Next up, Westbrook stopped during a Clippers game. It's a little less intense than the prior Westbrook fan situations, but it's difficult to say what happened in this case. Next up, a fan spits on Trae Young. This was a nasty conduct committed by a New York Knicks supporter. There are no words. The fan has been banned from Madison Square Garden for life, but what a disgrace. Young has made this series incredibly entertaining, and no athlete on the earth deserves such a treatment. Next up, popcorn being thrown on an injured Russell Westbrook. Obviously, the most recent example should come first. Westbrook had to be restrained when a spectator dumped all of his popcorn on the Washington Wizards star, who had to be carried off the court due to a sprained ankle. Next up, Kyle Lowry was shoved by a team investor, not a fan. When Kyle Lowry fell into the stands, Golden State Warriors investor Mark Stevens chose to shove him. If you're going to lose it when a player falls into the stands, maybe you don't belong courtside. Next up, a rival fan taunted Westbrook on the court after a buzzer beater. Following a heartbreaking loss, a rival fan proceeded to harass Westbrook in front of his teammates. Next up, the NSFW Warriors Klay Thompson incident. Yet another instance of fans getting too close to the action. While Klay Thompson was down, one fan decided to slam him. Next up, as things get out of hand, LeBron has a courtside fan tossed. It was a brave decision to curse out a player during the pandemic. It's not like you have the option of blaming someone else or remaining silent. Next up, the infamous Malice at the Palace incident. Arguably the worst player-fan interaction in sports history. The altercation between the visiting squad and the home fans became violent. The aftermath is even more difficult to see as fans, uninvolved fans, began to batter the players with whatever food and drinks that they could get their hands on. Next up, a fan tosses a drink at a player. During a playoff game between the Denver Nuggets and the New Orleans Hornets in 2009, some jerk decided to chuck their beer bottle at one of the players. What a guy. Next up, a Utah fan curses out Russell Westbrook in his ear. Russell Westbrook was leaving the court at halftime during a playoff game when a Utah supporter decided to curse him out a mere inches away from him. He became enraged and told a security guy to toss him. And lastly, a laser flashed in James Harden's eyes during a free throw attempt. During a free throw, a fan flashed a laser at James Harden's face and the light flashed into his eyes. Fortunately for Harden, he was able to look away without impairing his vision. Well guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Be sure to smash that like button, subscribe to our channel, and hit that notification bell so that you never miss any of our content and videos. Thanks again for watching. We'll see you guys all next time.